Welcome back to another video, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are going to be taking a look at cryptids. Yes, a lot of YouTubers have done fun little videos where they rank cryptids or they have them battle out to the death to see who is the best little spooky weirdo out there. You know, who's your favorite freak? Leave it in the comments below. A good example of a video that inspired me to do this is this one by Papa Meat. If you guys haven't seen it, watch that after this. I've left a video link in the description below, so you can just go watch that one after this one thing. But this video is going to be a little different because Valentine's Day is coming up, guys. I'm feeling in a bit of a, I don't know, like a lovey mood. And there's been a lot of people online lately with memes about how they want to get totally dicked down by Moth Man. And so I thought that'd be kind of fun to do a little video about what cryptid would be the best Valentine's Day date. Would any of them be good? Could any of them be good? Or any of them just okay? So we're going to do a little tier list here. And we're going to talk about 10 different cryptids and their ability to be the best kind of little Valentine's Day date that they could be. So let's get into it. The first one we're going to talk about is this little boy here. You might not be that familiar with him. This is the Bear Lake Monster. Why did I choose the Bear Lake Monster? Well, I'm from Utah, and the Bear Lake Monster, it lives in a lake that's here in Utah. It's on the Utah-Idaho border, and it's a spooky little guy. A lot of pictures have it looking kind of like a mosasaurus. It's also been described as sort of crocodilian, and the legend is said to have originated in 1890 by some Mormon guy named Joseph C. Rich. And he was like, hey, I saw a monster in the lake, and they wrote about it in the newspaper. And then guess what, guys? Later, he was like, I was just freaking joking, dude. Oh, yeah, dude, that's a joke? The Bear Lake Monster's a joke to you? Isn't that rich? Isn't that Joseph C. Rich? But despite the fact that he said that it's not real, the legend has persisted. So, Bear Lake Monster, would he be a good Valentine's Day date? He probably eats a lot of fish because he lives in the water. So you're going to have to go to a seafood restaurant. He's going to take you to Red Lobster. You could get those Cheddar Bay biscuits. That's already pretty good. If he was my date personally, that'd also be nice because he lives close to me. So I wouldn't have to travel that far. I wouldn't even have to go to a different realm of reality or anything. So that's pretty nice. He also seems like the kind of guy who'd jump out of the water in a little arch. We could have a little Free Willy moment. That'd be kind of fun. But we're going to put Bear Lake Monster, I'm going to say he's a solid B. He's middle of the road, right? He's not that exciting. He's just a big scary guy who lives in the lake. There's not that much lore. He doesn't have any magical powers or anything. Cheddar Bay biscuits, though, will get you a few points. I think B tier is pretty solid. The next one we're looking at, this is the Mac Daddy of cryptids, guys. This is the guy that all the other cryptids want to be. And if you went on a date with this cryptid, well, let's just say big feet, big schmeat. And that's right, we're talking about Bigfoot, guys. Sasquatch himself. Now, everyone's familiar with Sasquatch. I don't need to go over too much. He is a cryptid that is seen all over North America. There's other versions of him around the world, the Yeti, the Yowie, whatever. He's most notably related to the Pacific Northwest area, so he might be kind of a hipster, which is a little, I don't know if that's still cool. Back when I was in my early 20s, girls liked the hipster guys. Mumford & Sons were a big thing, and getting a little mustache tattoo right here on your finger was the silliest fucking thing you could do. Girls loved that shit. Nowadays, I don't know. I don't know if that's still... I'm married and I have a kid, and I don't know what the girls like anymore. But I do know that big schmeat is usually pretty popular. Bigfoot's tall also. That usually gets people some extra points. People on Valentine's Day, they want somebody tall, dark, and handsome. Bigfoot's tall. He's dark. It could be handsome. Would he be a good date, though? I mean, he likes to hunt. I watched that Finding Bigfoot show before, and they said that he'll break a deer's leg and throw it down a hill to kill it or something. So he'll get you some nice venison, and that shit can be pretty pricey and hard to come by. So he's gonna make you a little venison steakhouse meal. He's also kind of sneaky, so that could be fun. You can sneak off with him after dinner, and you can hit sticks against the trees or throw rocks at people or something, scare the shit out of people in tents. He's a little blurry and out of focus in every picture though, so good luck getting that cute first date selfie with him on Valentine's Day. And although he's furry like a dog, he is allegedly more human-like, so he could probably indulge in some of those Valentine's Day chocolates with you. So big feet, big schmeat. I'm gonna say that's S tier. That's S tier material. Bigfoot's gonna give you a fancy dinner. He's packing schmeat. He's gonna whisk you away to some beautiful place in the woods that no one's ever seen before. Yeah, Bigfoot, S tier, obviously. But now we're looking at a little scaly, gross little freak, the Chupacabra. Chupacabra is a Latin American cryptid. I think it originated in Mexico, but the legend persists all over the place. The name literally translates to goat sucker because he sucks the blood out of goats. And he's been described a lot of different ways. Sometimes he's like a large dog that's just like hairless and kind of creepy. Sometimes he's like a scaly little kangaroo thing. But you know, the fact that part of his name is sucker makes me think that, like, I mean, maybe he'd be giving you that good, you know? He could. He absolutely could. If he can suck a goat, he can suck your chode. A goat sucker, more like chode sucker. That right there means after dinner, it's gonna be pretty good. And you know what? If he just wants to suck the blood out of the goat, that leaves a whole goat for you. And goat is like actually goated as a meat. Like if you ever go to an Indian restaurant and they have goat curry, shit's so good. Fall off the bone tender. But that's a date you guys gotta plan. That's like an all-day thing because goat meat's a little tough. You need to cook it really slow and let it break down. Okay? So this can't be a spur of the moment like, let's have goat for dinner when you're with Chupacabra, because he wants the blood obviously, so you need a fresh goat. I'm sorry guys, I'm getting over a fucking cold. It's so stupid. I feel like I can't talk at all. It's dumb. But anyway, you're gonna need a fresh goat. You're gonna need a living goat so that he can have his fancy part of the meal. And then you're gonna have to wait all day for that goat to cook before it's palatable for you. But when it is, that's good stuff. As far as his looks though, Chupacabra is he's not the sexiest looking guy. He's kind of like obviously the sucker part of his name, like he's gonna give you a good time, but he's not like, you can close your eyes. I get, oh, that's a lot. I'm gonna put him at C. Chupacabra, C. I think that's a fair assessment. But this next cryptid is out of this world. That's right, it's the gray aliens. Everyone knows about these guys, the Roswell crash, alien abductions, all this shit with the government where they're calling UFOs. What are they calling them now? UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomena. That's stupid. I like unidentified flying object. That's more fun. But the gray aliens, yeah, they just kind of kidnap people, put probes in their butts, kidnap cows, live in outer space. They could be an okay Valentine's Day date. They're a little more humanoid, which is cool. I don't know if they got the same stuff going on, but you know, they got enough there that you can figure something out with them. They're really into butt stuff, which is, I don't know if that's everyone's cup of tea. So, you know, you win some, you lose some, I guess, on that date. But they'll take you in their cool, fancy spaceship and fly you around outer space. That's sick as hell. When are you ever going to get to go to outer space? Never. Probably never. You guys could go around pulling pranks on people. You could do crop circles and stuff. That'd be fun. So I'm going to say gray alien. That's going to be an A tier. I don't think it's quite up to Bigfoot's level for a date. The outer space thing, though, that's so hard, dude. That's so hard. But S, I feel like that's the top of the line. Like, that's the best date you're going to have. This guy's kind of like he wants to do butt stuff and then never talk to you again kind of guy. So that's not really the best. But he's better than, like, the Bear Lake Monster. So A feels good. A tier feels good for that.
Guys, I just want to interrupt talking about these cryptids to tell you about Dubby. Okay? Dubby is an energy drink powder and it's sick as shit. You guys, I can drink it every day, makes me feel good. It's made with coffee fruit extract. It's got all that good stuff, B vitamins, all that stuff you kind of want. It's got taurine, which makes you feel real good if you're looking for a burst of energy. It's got caffeine, it's got all the usual stuff, but it doesn't make you crash like other energy drinks do. And if you guys want to try some W for yourself, check out the link in the description below, or go to w.gg and use coupon code POOPOOPP for 10% off your order. Thank you guys so much, and back to the video.
This next cryptid on the list is the Jersey Devil. For those of you not familiar, the Jersey Devil was the 13th child of a witch or something in New Jersey in like the 1700s, or I don't know, a long time ago. And she was like, fuck, I don't want to have a 13th fucking kid. Fuck this kid, he's gonna be the goddamn devil. And then he was born with like donkey feet and wings, and he can do devil magic or something. Right off the bat, he's kind of a bad boy, you know what I mean? Like, his mom's a witch, he's like the 13th fucking kid. Like, that's like that's one of the bad numbers, you know? Did you know most buildings don't even have a 13th floor button on their elevators? Because like most buildings aren't 13 stories tall, but the ones that are, like, a lot of them just skip it. That goes like 12 and then 14 for some reason, because a lot of the superstition of it or whatever. I don't know, it's weird. But the Jersey Devil, what kind of magic does he have? Let's check this out. So the Jersey Devil can fly. He's got super strength, super speed. He's got claws. He's got cloven hooves. Like I said before, he's got donkey feet. He's got a forked tail like the devil. That's not really a power. He's immortal. So basically, he's kind of OP. So he's kind of lame immediately. Like, you gotta have super strength and super speed. And then on top of that, he has this like apparently horrible high-pitched scream that he does, which would get annoying as shit on a date. If he has like a horrible high-pitched scream that he does, like, he probably has an awful laugh. You know, he probably sounds like Fran Drescher or like Janice. Sounds like Janice from Friends. And that's annoying. Plus, he's from New Jersey, so he's, you know, probably all like, you know how people from how New Jersey is. And he's gonna be all like, he only gives a shit about pizza, which is pretty good for Valentine's Day, a pizza date. But like, I don't know, man, Valentine should be a little more fancy than just pizza, don't you think? Especially if you're going on a date with a legendary person, a legendary creature, a legendary freak. So, you know, Jersey Devil, he's not sounding like he's got that much going romantically. Sounds like he's just gonna maybe beat the shit out of you and scream really loud. So, D tier for Jersey Devil. No thanks. No thanks, guy. But next, we're getting to another big boy in the cryptid world. This is Moth Man. Moth Man is one of the cryptids that made me want to do this silly little stupid video, because there's all those memes about how people want to like fuck the Moth Man. There's also a lot of memes about Moth Man stealing catalytic converters. So he is kind of a little street rat. But for those of you who don't know about Moth Man originated in West Virginia in like the fucking 50s, maybe. When was Mothman? In the 60s. And people who have seen him have gone like fucking crazy and stuff. He was seen at a bridge, and then later that bridge collapsed and like 40 something people died or some shit. It's like the worst bridge disaster as far as deaths are concerned in US history. And a lot of people think Mothman was a bad omen. And then he also like chases people in cars. He can fly really, really fucking fast. But would Mothman be a good date? I think the fact that he is a bad omen is not very good. But if you're trying to piss your dad off, he seems like somebody that your dad wouldn't like. So that's one thing. He's got wings, so he could like fly you around town. That's kind of fun. That'd be almost like in Aladdin on the magic carpet. So that'd be kind of fun. That's romantic. Nice little starry night flying around in the sky. He is kind of human-like in a lot of ways, so you can figure out some fun stuff to do with him probably. I don't know anatomically if he's packing schmeat or not. But the fact that he is a sinister presence and he's kind of a little bad omen, that's a little kind of makes it seem like something bad's gonna happen on your date. Like you will be driving home after the date and the bridge will collapse or something. You probably don't want that. So Moth Man, I'm gonna put you in the B tier. You're S tier in my heart as far as like cool ass cryptids go, but as far as Valentine's Day date, you got a lot of good and bad. If Bigfoot is the king of cryptids, this one is the queen. And yes, we're talking about Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. I don't need to explain too much about Nessie. You guys know Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster from Loch Ness in Scotland. It's said to resemble a plesiosaur or similar type of prehistoric reptile. Nessie is also going to be all about the seafood like Bear Lake Monster. But, you know, Nessie might be taking you to like Market Street Grill, taking you to the oyster bar, wanting to get a little aphrodisiac action going, you know what I mean? Give you some of them oysters, get you a little revved up and ready to go. She got that long neck, so she probably, you know, I think I heard something that like giraffes can't throw up because of how long their necks are. I don't know if that's true, and I'm not gonna fact check that. And assuming that's true, Nessie can't either, so she doesn't got the gag reflex maybe. So that could be fun. But what I learned from South Park is that she always wants to borrow Tree Fitty. So, you know, Nessie's got to go S tier with Bigfoot, right? I mean, Scotland, that'd be a beautiful place to go. See the rolling green hills, and so I would say that Nessie's S tier. Nessie's got a lot of stuff going on that make a good Valentine's Day date. Next up, alphabetically, is the vampire. Now this one, all the women love them a good vampire. I feel like Bram Stoker started the whole look how sexy this guy is with Dracula, and then Stephanie Meyers really amped it up by making him even sexier with Edward Cullen. Anne Rice before her, really, I mean, everybody was like, look at Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt fucking getting it on with each other in this interview with the vampire. That's hot as hell. Vampires are, and like, just think about that Jim Carrey movie Once Bitten where he becomes a vampire. There's a girl vampire, and that's kind of like a goth girl. So according to the internet, that's the hottest thing that you could be. And although the vampire is going to be probably pretty manipulative, maybe not the best person to have a relationship with, as far as like a romantic sexy Valentine's Day night, vampire is S tier. Definitely S tier. I mean, they're gonna wine and dine you hard as shit, but they're gonna want to go their own ways at the end of the night. They gotta sleep in like their own little fucking coffin or whatever. So, you know, but you don't gotta sleep in the same bed, and then you don't have the weird like walk of shame the next morning. So yeah, vampire, S tier. S tier for sure. The next one is the Wendigo. A lot of people are familiar with Wendigos because the internet has kind of made them the cool cryptid the last few years, I feel like. I remember as a kid, I first heard about them on one of those Animal Planet shows where they talked about weird monsters and stuff. I thought the Wendigo sounded pretty cool. For those of you unfamiliar with the Wendigo, they are a creature of Algonquin folklore, Native American, okay? There's different ways that they come about. They're originally a human, but then if the human decides to be a cannibal, they become a Wendigo, or they could just be like possessed by a spirit, I think. But the Wendigo, they are kind of emaciated and weird, but that kind of sounds like skinny. Skinny's a plus, right? People like skinny. No fat shaming on this channel. I think all bodies are beautiful. I'm just saying in general, skinny people, I've learned from experience as somebody who's been a little bit of a chub. Skinny people have it easier in a lot of ways. That's why everybody wants to get on Ozempic. Everybody wants to lose that weight. Everybody's doing keto. Everyone wants to be skinny. You know, he's going to be arm candy in that regard, right? You're going to be walking around Mr. Skinny. But just like the rest of us, he does apparently grow larger with each meal, you know. But if that means he gets taller too, like I said before, no body shaming here. All bodies are beautiful, but tall people have an advantage. As an average sized guy, I've noticed that dudes taller than me, even if I'm better looking than them, they're cooler than me. So, you know, if he gets taller every time he eats, and he likes to eat a lot, Wendigos are powerful flesh-eating monsters, so he's gonna eat a ton. He's gonna get huge, and you're gonna have the tallest, skinniest boyfriend in the world with you, which could be, that sounds like tall, dark, and handsome to me, but he's not that handsome. He has kind of like a scary skull face and antlers and stuff. He seems like he'd be smelly and stinky. A stinky, rotten date doesn't sound very fun. They are associated with winter usually. There's something about them in the cold. So Valentine's Day, it's still winter time. So I think that's perfect timing for him to be your date. He's not going to be a fun summer fling, but a Valentine's date. Yeah, so I think mostly a Wendigo would probably be a good Valentine's Day date. I think the fact that they're kind of emaciated and smell like rotting flesh drops them down a little bit, because it just sounds like they're going to be stinky. And I don't really want to go on a date with somebody stinky. That's huge. Like, before a Valentine's Day date, you should have good hygiene. You should smell your best. So Wendigo, I'm going to put him in C. Wendigo, C tier. Because stinky just ruins a lot of it. I don't want a stinky guy. But now, we're on to our last cryptid. The werewolf. Werewolves, much like vampires, have gotten sexy. That right off the bat. Valentine's Day date, that's good. He is a human during the day, and then a wild monster at night, which... whew. He likes to eat meat also, so he'll probably take you to a nice, like, steakhouse or something. If you're vegan, don't date the werewolf. But if you're not, a little Ruth's Chris, perhaps. Take you somewhere fancy. Silver kills werewolves, so he probably won't use any silverware on the date, which kind of sucks. He'll be eating with his hands mostly. Just, I don't know, have extra napkins at the table or something. You'll probably be fine. He's hairier than you think, which I don't know if you're into body hair or not. I'm not a big body hair person, but that didn't stop me with Bigfoot, who's also hairy as shit. So, you know, I can look past it. And he might have soft fur. They are wolf guys. They're dogs, right? And dogs are cute and fluffy, and they're fun to snuggle. So he'd probably be a great snuggler. He'd be loyal. Wolves are badass as hell. Every middle-aged divorced uncle on Facebook has like a wolf as their profile picture. So a man who's a wolf would be badass as shit. So I'm gonna say, if a vampire is S tier, werewolf's gotta be S tier also. They're mortal enemies. They're guys who are both gonna want to outdo each other to take you on the best date possible. And that's it, guys. That's our tier list right there. S tier, we've got Bigfoot, we've got Nessie, we've got vampires, we've got werewolves. A tier, gray aliens. B tier, Bear Lake Monster, Moth Man. C tier, Chupacabra, Wendigo. D tier, Jersey Devil. There's a lot more things in S tier than any of the other tiers, which means I'm either a very easy date with low expectations, or I really want to fuck a monster. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide which one of those is true. But that's all I have for today, guys. If you guys liked this new style of video... Ah, shoot. Fuck. I just spilled my water everywhere. Clean it up in a sec. If you guys like this, if you guys like this style of video, subscribe. Hit the like button. It really helps out the channel. The other thing that would help is if I go get a towel right now to clean up this water that's soaking all over my floor. But anyway, guys... thank you guys so much for all of the support my channel has gotten recently. You guys are amazing. I love you. This video was really stupid and fun to make, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be on the lookout for future uploads. Like I said, subscribe, like, hit that bell. Leave a comment below and tell me what cryptid you want to fuck on Valentine's Day. And I'll see you guys next time. Also, go to w.gg and use coupon code POOPOOPP for 10% off. Okay, I'm going to fuck Moth Man.